There is a saying that simple things amuse simple minds, and that basically must put me straight in that category, because I always find it quite comical when DJI are about to launch a new drone. It's supposed to be a huge secret and nobody's supposed to know about it up until they actually launch it, except usually, just like has happened with the new DJI Mini 2 SE, the DJI FlY app gets launched saying that the DJI Mini 2 SE is coming before they've actually launched the product. And it's no different in this case. So yes, this is a review of the DJI FlY app 1.9.4, and this is all to do with, of course, the new launch of the DJI Mini 2 SE, and of course it's offering bugs and fixes. And honestly guys, let me blow your mind, because there is one huge new feature I'm going to show you. Okay, it's not really that impressive, but there is a new feature or a function or a change to the interface. Anyway, essentially this update I have decided to do using the good old DJI Mini 2. After all, we are reviewing an app which is designed and launched for the downscaled version of this drone. Heaven forbid, the DJI Mini 2 SE does look reasonable spec, but given the fact that, you know, looking over the specifications myself, I'm just going to stick my neck on the line and say I don't know why you'd buy it. I don't know why you'd buy it, because at the end of the day, the Mini 2 does everything, and of course, some of the little added features, such as the 4K camera, is really going to be advantageous. So really guys, I do appreciate it's going to be a cheaper option if you are looking into getting into drones, but for me, I just think the Mini 2, everybody knows what it does, everybody knows it's absolutely fantastic, so if you are looking, I'd still upgrade to this particular model. So as it currently stands, this update is for phones only. Of course, whether you have an iOS device or an Android device, you will need to use this controller to do the update. Of course, I do appreciate absolutely many of you now are using this new controller here. However, this isn't actually compatible with the DJI Mini 2 or indeed the new DJI Mini 2 SE. But of course, because this is, like I've already mentioned, about all the DJI Mini 2, I decided to use the DJI Mini 2 drone for this. Now, to get a new version of the DJI FlY app on this controller here, we do actually require a full firmware update, and DJI have not yet launched that, but it will come in the next coming couple of days. So what I will do is I'm going to split this video up. So basically, when DJI launch 1.9.4 for this controller with the new firmware version, I'll test that along with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So there is a couple of ways you can get this update. Then you can simply go to the DJI download page on your Android device via a web browser, hit the download button and get it from there. You can of course just simply open up the DJI FlY app and it will prompt you that there is an update available, providing you have an internet connection to the device. Or of course you can get it from my own personal Google Drive. Link will be in the video description below. And of course, those of you that are familiar with the channel, I host all the old Android install files. So if you ever do install a version of the FlY app and not quite like it, or it doesn't work on your machine or your device, you can simply use that resource to go back to a previous version. So looking through all the menus, is there any huge changes? Well, there's a big change, if you wish. If we just take a simple look at the interface on our main flight screen, you can see that the zoom indicator on screen is now bigger and it's yellow writing. I have no idea why they have decided to make that change. It just takes up more space on the screen, which of course you don't want. I don't know. But anyway, that's the huge change. Apart from that, looking through all the menus, absolutely nothing seems to be different. So ultimately, let's just go test the DJI Mini 2 with the RC-M1 controller and just make sure everything does work. So flying around, of course, signal strength does seem to be a little bit iffy, but of course that can change from day to day depending on local interference. Not really a major issue. I didn't lose my connection at all. And of course, if you are ever flying and you start to get some interference, just remember, just fly upwards, just fly up, just go up. And then hopefully that signal will then return because you are that little bit further away from all the interference. Now, a couple of updates ago, DJI did actually introduce a new feature where if you have it on your Android device and all you need to do is take a photo, if we pop into our gallery, you can see that it's automatically downloading to our connected device. All I need to do is simply go into my phone's gallery, which you can see right here, and that photo is already on my device, ready for me to edit in something like Lightroom or simply share to social media. The reason why I've mentioned it and like to show that it works for me in real time is because many of you have commented that it's not quite working as it should, but of course I can only test what's right in front of me, and as you can see, it does work perfectly fine. One of my staple tests I like to do is just quick shots, just to make sure it is selecting everything as it should. Sticking the DJI Mini 2 up in the air and just selecting this random house. Doesn't have to be a specific object, but what we're going to do is normally we do a little droning. I think this time we're just going to do a circle, and of course we're just going to speed up that footage because we don't want to keep you waiting for the, I'm thinking about 2 minutes it took to actually complete this full circle, but as you can see, it did select this house absolutely fine, kept it locked on for the entire circle, and absolutely no problems there. To finalise the test, I always like to finish with a return to home accuracy test, just to make sure that nothing was untoward. So let's just hit that return to home now, and as that's returning to home, you can see this drone just does handle the wind absolutely perfectly. It's not flat cam today, it is a little bit of wind about, and of course the DJI Mini 2 is just such a trooper. Cannot grumble about this drone at all, and still a very, very good choice for all of you out there. And I would still argue that this drone, for most amateurs anyway, would be perfectly good enough. I appreciate the DJI Mini 3 Pro is a fantastic drone, but really the Mini 2 is a spot-on piece of kit for pretty much everybody. And as you can see, when it comes to that return to home test, it's got us back to our location perfectly fine, and then I always cancel the return to home and just land manually. So there we go, a short, sharp test of the new DJI FlY App 1.9.4. Of course, I really found nothing new when testing with the DJI Mini 2, and of course I chose to do this, as explained in the outset to the video, purely because obviously this app has been designed to support the DJI Mini SE. So ultimately, guys, please do let me know what your findings are in the comment section below. Maybe something I have missed. I'm only human, it does happen, none of us are perfect, but this does seem perfectly safe to install, and I would highly recommend you go ahead and do so. So that wraps up this video. Thank you very much for watching. Again, as usual, please do give this a big thumbs up if you found it useful. Subscribe if you're awesome, and until next time, see you again soon.